So, you really miss her?
I think he's losing it.
He's perfectly fine.
I don't know, officer.
He's acting.
I don't think that...
And acting pretty badly, I might add.
This game is Lonesome Town, and it is absolute cinema. Dear son, I've been made aware of your new place of residence, and I'm not fond of it. I can understand that you always liked those kinds of places. The actual gameplay starts in a murder scene where you are actually the killer, which is very interesting because most of these horror games it's the other way around. But this is a very cool concept. Actually, I really like it, and this game is actually really fun. Something I like about this game is that it has flavor text, and you can interact with a lot of stuff in this game, which I really appreciate that because it kind of helps you understand and feel the character. Where like most games, it's kind of just like you can only interact with stuff that is really necessary to the game and the story. But this game, you can interact with a couple stuff that isn't really useful at all, but it's cool and it adds more personality to it. Now, I do have one problem with this game. It is really jittery. Like, sometimes the game will run absolutely fine, but like every few seconds it will jitter and you'll move really, really, really quick. And it's really annoying because, like, I don't even have a bad computer. Now, I'm normally not the person to complain about game speed, like the amount of frames per second in a game. If something has 30 frames per second, I'm fine. But with this, it's kind of an exception. It goes way too. It's way worse than that, and it kind of annoys me. So what I also like about this game is the art and how it's built. It actually feels really real. It actually feels really nice, and it makes sense. Also, the art style of kind of like simple 3D things and also cardboard is a really interesting art style, and I kind of dig with it. I think it's cool. I think it's actually really cool. my dumbass didn't know this, but that actually just appeared out of nowhere, which is pretty interesting, and kind of reminds me of like Silent Hill 2, where like you have to do a very specific amount of things to you have to do a very specific amount of things to move on with the to move on in an apartment area. Like you have to find the handgun, you have to find a light, and I think you have to see Pyramid Head, and then you can find keys to go through the rest of the apartments. Of course, I was curious and I took a leap of faith, and that just restarted me. So I'm not gonna have to make you guys go through all this backtracking. So I'm just gonna move on.
Come on, man, why would you do that? What's wrong with you? Oh well, you have to run now, because soon enough someone will find me here and they'll find you too. Remember, man, we've been through a lot worse than this. Why would you do it now? All I ever did was say some facts that you weren't really happy with, but that was not insulting.
Really like how this game uses voice acting, and it's a lot better than these other games where they don't use voice acting like at all. It's kind of annoying.
Why don't you go and get us some wood? I want to keep this fire going. There is a fine story to be heard here.
You heard the man.
So what I like about this game is it keeps its story a bit nuanced. You kind of have to actually think and put the things together, which I find this a lot better than some of these other horror games where it's just kind of like, it's the most bare bones story you've ever seen, and you don't really have to do any like thinking, and it's just and like those games just feel like so boring. But the story, what it seems like right now is like you murdered some guy who was a friend, and he insulted you, and that's why you did it. And that's what it kind of feels like the story is right now. But like you just have to keep going and you'll find out more. And I actually really like this, that you actually have to put the pieces together instead of it just being thrown right into your face. In this section, my dumbass couldn't figure out that I could only actually hold one piece of wood at a time, and I had to go back to the fire and put it in. So yeah. Something I also appreciate about this game is that you can actually sprint, which like I kind of get sick of like these horror games where it's like they make you go at these slow ass paces through the story for no reason, and it just kind of pisses you off because like your character's going way too slow. It gets annoying, but luckily this game doesn't do that, which I enjoy. as I was saying, I really like this art style, and it kind of actually helps with the themes. You're telling this as like a story. The game is like you're playing out someone's story they're telling to other people. So this kind of art style kind of feels like a way you would convey a story. And also, through the game, you'll get flashes of the murder scene, which is kind of meant to be kind of like a weird, like, showing of, like, depression and, like, PTSD, probably. So you see this guy in a cutscene being shot, and then you get a letter where it tells you that it tells you about Janus' sisters basically saying, oh, he's sorry about saying something bad about Rev and the party 7 days ago and 1 week. It's written really weirdly, but it's written in a weirdly weird way, and there's actually a reason for that, which you'll find out later. Something I also like about this game is that it lets you figure out things for yourself, except for like these indie games where like they'll basically just have a big like thing just telling you everything you need to do. Like they'll have like a text box saying, "Go eat food, go put in code, go do this," and it's like these games act like you don't have a functioning brain and you can't figure stuff out by yourself. So instead they just tell you what to do because they think you're like a Neanderthal or something. But this game doesn't do that. It actually like just lets you figure it out, which yeah, it might look really annoying, but like it's a much better experience than a game telling you everything you have to do straight up in your face. So now there's this code, and you might be thinking, oh, but there's no like little like things with the telling you what the code is. Well, it actually turns out that that letter is actually a actual digit code in disguise, and I really actually love this puzzle. I actually really like it. Basically, in the letter, if you like, the letter felt really weird, and like they just use just random numbers, and like if you read it again, it's actually just a straight up A code. So yeah, I actually found that really cool.
The sauce, flexing, no ketchup, nah, just sauce, saucy, raw sauce, yo, boom, the thing goes, and the
after that absolutely brain-wracking, mind-melting puzzle, I get to the next stage. Wow, that was so hard. Now, it is the exact same puzzle, and I have a bit of a problem with this. It's kind of just like, if you give someone the same puzzle they just did, it's not really a puzzle. It's just kind of like repeating, and like, it feels less difficult. I don't actually like this as much, but no game can be perfect, and I like the game so much I can let this go by.
I just gotta open the door, be sneaky. I see a key card, geez, how easy. Oh, wait, what? Yes, I'm stuck. Is this Lou? Who's that run? Hey, I mean, what in the balls are all these bitches? I didn't call my mom or my dad. I stared again and my pants are all bad.
Maybe we should take a break.
No thanks, I'm great, okay? I'm not mistaken that
Ah! Well, that was scary. Okay, that spooked me a bit, but it's still a cheap jump scare. But, like, I'll let it pass, I guess.
So, you followed my clues. I don't think you're that smart. Don't fool with me, you worthless piece of filth. Who are you?
Yes, I'm Cleopatra. Nice to meet you.
I just said that I don't like you, that's all. You're smart though. Others who tried are back there. I came here a few days ago and noticed that there are quite a few fancy graves laying around. I say we dig them up, take the good stuff, if there is any, split the goods, and we're on our ways.
This guy's rude. And the door we came out of is way too small for us. Like it looked way bigger than before. And also, I guess now we're grave robbers. That's really fun. Oh, and also there's our friend. He also just ends up just being around the map, everywhere once in a while, just there to torment you. You know what I mean? Also, I didn't notice through this intensive gameplay that I was actually meant to dig them 2 times. I just thought there was nothing in the graves, or the game was like being annoying to me or something. I don't know. So I just sat here just like thinking, well, what am I meant to do? Okay, this actually made me laugh. This is pretty funny. A picture of Gabe Newell. I've seen this picture so many times, but it's I actually really liked this. Good Easter egg, good joke.
Yeah, this is big brain time.
Can you even trust this guy? Who is he, man? This doesn't seem like a good idea at all. let's just hope the end is near.
Damn, I agree with the dead man. I do not trust this guy.
Go in there and get some rest. You deserve it.
Oh dear Rev, how sad was I when we had to depart last time. Mere thought of that now long gone day makes me really sad. I remember all the time we spent together and all the laughs we shared. Hope to meet you soon, Rev. Your dear...
What are you doing?
You shouldn't read someone else's letters, you know that? I thought we were friends for a bit there. Go, just go away, you're free. I've got police on my back. I have to run once again. Goodbye.
We don't have much time left. The story's about to end. However, we have a mystery here. You think you can solve it? There is enough time for that.
There should be. You might even hear something, you know?
Okay, well that's kind of on us. You don't just read someone's letters. I am so sorry. Now, this last puzzle, it took me a while to understand what I was meant to do because like they're giving you a lot. Basically what the puzzle is you're meant to basically put this story in line. You're meant to basically put up the story from like this letters, and the letters mean what part of the story. Which it's actually a pretty sophisticated puzzle, and I actually really liked it. I found it really unique. So I'm just gonna show a sped up montage of me trying to figure this out.
Well, few more steps and we are out of this nightmare-filled world. What do you think about it, man? Well, it kinda grew on me. I started to like the setting and all. Atmosphere seemed nice and all the characters I met here. And you still have to run from all the crap you've done here.
Now you end off the game in a cornfield, or at least I think it is, running off from cops, having to run and then do the weird trick where you go behind a secluded area and keep running. And this is the last section of the game, and it's pretty fun. I feel it's a bit anticlimactic, but it's still pretty good. I didn't have anything wrong with it. And yeah, so enjoy it.
I interviewed a few people from that building over there. They all said he lived alone in this funhouse type of thing. Owners abandoned it a few years ago. He broke in about a month ago. Clear signs of mental illness, if you ask me.
The neighbor called us. He went to the garage to get some wood sometime after midnight and heard a gunshot from the funhouse.
Well, it was pretty cold in my apartment, so I decided to go down and get some wood. Then I heard a loud bang. I immediately knew.
Alright, death by self-inflicted gunshot, wound to the head. Time of death was March 7th, around 1:30 to 2 p.m.
So that's basically the end of the game. It's basically the police and giving some more interesting ideas on the lore. I really liked this game. It actually had puzzles that were actually interesting and were actually enjoyable. I actually really like this game, and I can't wait to play more of this creators' games because most of the games I've played, except for Sunset Beach, have been absolute bangers. So I guess everybody have a good day, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, if you have any games you want me to check out, just put it in the comments. Okay.